Round one. Fight! Get moving! Dragon breath! Dragon breath! Buster! Dragon breath! Dragon breath! Buster! Dragon breath! Dragon breath! Howard blow! Review! Round one. Fight! Fighting cutter! General combat! Round one. Fight! Fighting cutter. Endless screw. Fighting cutter.
Hello everyone and welcome to another randomised gaming fight night. I am your host, Random Gamer Ribbon, and with me of course is my fighting buddy. And in today's stream we are going to be playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter on the Super Nintendo. There are actually three versions of this. There is the SNES version, there is the Mega Drive version, and there is the NES version. Now, we don't have the NES version, so that was never released in the UK. But by all accounts, that's by far the weakest. We do have the Mega Drive one. The Mega Drive version is not particularly very good. However, this Super Nintendo version is by far the best. Now, it was known over here as Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. For those who don't know, when the BBC showed it in Europe, there was some concern that, I think it was across Europe as well, that calling them ninja, the word would somehow affect young children.
Round two. Fight!
So they cut it out. They also at the time removed Michelangelo's nunchucks. At the time, nunchucks were basically forbidden to be shown in the TV series, although they were included perfectly in the arcade game at the time. That's a bit weird. Yeah, the fact somehow ninja would corrupt us as if it was something deadly assassin, I never quite got that. So we do actually get slightly censored versions here in the UK as well. They used to cut out Michelangelo's sections and replace it with random footage.
Round three. Fight!
Of him not using his nunchucks. Since then they suddenly realised that actually nunchucks aren't quite as bad as some of the other weapons some of the other turtles were using. I think they were more concerned about bladed nunchucks, which can be incredible. Yeah, there's lots of references to the cartoon series in this. Yeah. So this is by far the best tournament fighters game out there. I mean, this is not the best version though of it. The Japanese version is technically superior. I think they had a few more months to work on it, so they added in some additional content. They did slightly make Asura a little more revealing, wearing panties rather than having sort of full on. They gave her a bit more animation. Rat King has an additional section on his stage. Apparently there's new voice samples and a few other changes. Hi Carrick, thanks for joining the stream again today. Good to see you from last night's stream as well, so thanks for joining. Yeah, this really is a fantastic fighter. I just wish it was actually the Japanese version, although I suppose for the story purposes it's glad we've got the Western version. Should we dish out the bosses fairly quickly? So the bosses are accessed via a cheat code, as are their stages. So I'm just to see which correct. Can we actually pick their stages? Where are their stages actually based? Okay, that's actually Rat King's stage, I think. Does one look like two? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so the stages are already unlocked. Yeah, I think the rooftop's Karai. That rooftop's Karai, and this is, I think this is the studio. Yeah, the music's actually really good for this one. Yeah, so in Japanese version you can actually Rat King can actually throw characters through the right wall into the TV station, but that was cut. So this is Karai and Rat King, who are the two bosses in this game. The game's actually got quite a few characters, so it is quite a nice title, I will admit, and in fact you can unlock them. I can't remember if it told you how to unlock the bosses in game, or whether All characters suits as well, they all have their own set of moves, so... There is actually an additional cheat for Super Street, and the music, again, for Super Nintendo games. It's been a while since I've actually listened to it, Carrick, but yeah, I know what a good soundtrack it is.
Round 2. Fight!
This is probably one of the best fighters after Street Fighter. In fact, in terms of original Super Nintendo games, I'm just wondering if this is slightly better than Killer Instinct, actually. I think as far as original one-on-one beat-em-ups go, this is the best on the system. I think that's what I'd say. Basically, in terms of original, because you've got stuff like Clay Fighters, unless one of the Rambo games is better. Although that Karai art always looked a bit... Continue? Is that because we're playing as the bosses? Or is it... Oh, it's every time. Players Azuka. Azuka was actually supposedly Mizuki originally, but they changed her. She was supposed to be Mizuki from the third film. It's not clear why they changed her. Hardcore Gaming suggests possibly because the game not being that popular, and that's subsequently been entered on Wikipedia, but that I think is more subjective. My suspicion is more along the lines of that they didn't have the rights to the character from the third film, or some people said they didn't want the third film character because this has characters from Archie comics in it. So the Turtles is a bit of a messy licensing, as the film production is different to the TV series, which is in turn different to the original comic books, and it's actually a bit of a copyright nightmare. So they may have... Yeah. You can perform super moves by pressing X and A together, so that's a 2 heavy attack. So basically you have light punch, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick, and that's pretty much it. L and R don't actually do anything. And each character has a selection of moves. There's that fairy attack. Shredder's quite an easy one to remember because I usually play a side. Yeah, his is really charged, and he was like the first character. Ball crusher there, you're doing a lot of good. I do have fond memories of tournament fight as a friend used to have it, used to bring it around. I remember he used to play it, so... definitely a game that, in fact, I think playing this, I really want to get a Japanese version. That's really bugging me with the extra content and additional voices. Yeah, I mean, that stage is certainly very close to some of the old Marvel heroes. Yeah. The sprites for this are quite a lot bigger than... Yeah, they're bigger than Killer Instinct as well now that I come to think about it, so I'll be wing nuts. I think one of the issues might be because this used more cartoon comic book characters than the I mean, we were quite bad when this came out, even we ignored it because it was kind of like it's... I remember it being one of those games that it came out at a point when Turtles had just about run out of steam, I think it's fair to say. So, yeah, that was Karai's stage, wasn't it? That's a really nice stage. I think at that point when it came out, it had run out of steam, so we didn't pick it up, and I wish we had done.
Round 1.
I picked it up many years later. Yeah, the sprites on this one are probably bigger than Killer Instinct. So it does have a selection of characters, as I said, from some from Archie comics, like Wingnut here. I think basically you had a I actually have some of the Archie comics because I didn't. couple of Turtles comics during the time. I don't think I've got many of them left, but I think most of them have been big. But I did have a load of them at the time. Just a couple of them had like pull-out posters of the Turtles. Wingnut was one of the characters in it. With hidden if you ever... Yeah, not really, slightly odd. Yeah, oh, your pinball tape. Sure, play. And yeah, the Japanese version actually slightly destructive in price. We've got what appears to be Lassie in the background as well there.
Round 2.
I think it did get looked over because it was a licensed fighter, and Konami themselves hadn't at this point done, if I'm being honest, too many fighting games. I don't have much luck at all. Well, actually, I should say this was released in 1993, late 93. It was published by Konami and it was developed by Konami. This was also, I think, the last game Konami had before they lost the original license. Yeah, I've never actually played the NES version Carrick, so I don't know how good or bad the NES version is. I still actually need to try it myself. I've never. I think I may have.
did play it once on an
emulator.
emulator. Only about 5 characters.
Yeah. I think this is the stage of Bebop and Rocksteady in the background, isn't it? This one. I think this is Cyberstream stage.
Fight!
I have to try it at some point. It looks like quite an impressive NES game for this. Not people on what's this. They're in one of them. I think they're in. I think. Okay, we'll try at some point. I'd quite like, if we did it, we'd quite like to stream for a Fight Night video, although the trouble with it, I think it's only, like I said, it's only got like 6 or 7 characters, so. I really have to die. Every time I get the super, beat. Every time. It's seconds off having my super. Again. Yeah, the NES one was surprisingly after the SNES one, I believe. So it was one of those really late NES games, which was quite surprising. I see, you actually get well, yeah, basically you tend to get the charge of block. Oh yes, finally. Although that's really not a winning super move when you blow yourself up. Chrome, there's actually quite an odd selection because Chrome I don't remember being in the comic books, and you certainly don't think it was in the TV series unless it was in a really late series. Same with War. That said, I only ever really saw the first 2 seasons, so maybe these were actually bizarrely too cheap to buy the third series onwards, so they never showed. In fact, to this day, some of the TV series of Turtles have not been screened in the UK. You can't even buy them either.
They released the first box of disc set, but that was about it. I haven't checked in a while, so maybe there's a Blu-ray out now. They only recently actually released the full Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. Actually, recently picked up Thundercats as well, which is like a trip down memory lane. I don't seem to have won that at the minute. I'm not having a good run. So, okay, let's pick my other favourite turtle, Raph. I think that's a character suite then. Okay, which stage are people? Oh no, they're in that one. Big one, not steady.
Round 1. Fight!
No, it's back to Stockman in this stage. Back to Stockman and Casey Jones. There's quite a lot of shell cut screw attack. Yeah, I really wish we were Rocksteady Vanillas. They are. Bebop is my favourite. Okay, can you? Probably the volume's a bit loud, Carrick. Okay, that's probably a bit better. It's probably the mic's a bit quiet. I think the volume for the game was a touch loud. Thanks for letting me know, Carrick. Because I know Dragoon can be a bit quiet in the background at times. So.
I'm sitting away from the mics, so...
But yeah, Bebop is probably Bebop's one character I'd love to see in a fighting game, so... And the turtles are surprisingly nimble. It's definitely... I mean, it's definitely better than I remember. I was always a bit hesitant when I first played this. I think I was probably being a bit harsh on it. I think fair. I think a lot of people were, it's not Street Fighter 2 at this point, or it's not Mortal Kombat. But this is a much... Again, just about to get my super out.
Yeah, he's got more moves than in the...
Yeah, they all have the manuals not complete. There's actually, each character's got quite a few moves. It's certainly a very complete fighter. But still, I think it's probably the best original Super Nintendo fighter. Anyone got any suggestions for a better title? Let me know. I'm going to try Mikey again. I should use Mikey's Dragon Punch. Will Bebop Rocksteady in this one?
Round 1.
Yep, there he is in the background.
Yep, and I think Bebop's in... I think Rocksteady's over the other side, or he's in a different side. I think, yeah, there's Rocksteady as well. So this is like the proper Foot Clan one. There we go, there's the... Karai's quite a thrower, she's definitely...
Yeah, she's a fast-moving character.
Yeah, her throws really are... She's definitely one of the best characters for throwing. In fact, her move setup seems to largely be set up for...
Round 2. Fight!
Throws. In order to unlock her and use... So basically, in order to use her and Rat King, you need to input a cheat on the title screen. Same with in order to access their stages in burst mode. So it's well worth doing, actually.
Let's get down.
Yeah, I think Mike's good. I've just slightly adjusted the volume a little bit. I think with the game volume up a bit too high. One of the issues actually streaming I've realised is every game has the decibel value for their audio set differently. So some games have it set really loud, some set it really... I think one thing I will say, this game probably rewards defensive players more so. I mean, Karai's a really big... She's by far the biggest... sprite in this game. I mean, I think she's definitely bigger than Killer Instinct. Admittedly, we are slightly zooming it up on the TV because we're playing this on the TV and I've got it on the screen thing. And I'm using a 14:9 stretch, so it's slightly larger than it should be because, of course, this is a boarded Super Nintendo game. So let's play the Rat King.
Round one. Fight!
Oh, you actually got, it's quite nice. You actually got a water effect in this stage. Not to make controversial statements, I think it's a better SNES game in terms of fighting the Killer Instinct.
What's ball?
I think the two bosses might do quite a bit more damage.
Yeah, I don't think the bosses are overpowered in this one.
Round two. Fight!
So you missed out on our earlier stream. I did stream. We did a fantastic stream on Super Bomberman R Online.
Round three. Fight!
And I think that Bomberman R Online stream may be our best stream today. Yeah, he's definitely a proper power thrower. Yeah, Rat King and Kara definitely got throws. No, she's actually Asuka is actually an original character done for this. However, she's not actually that original, as it seems she was supposed to be based on Mitsu from the Princess Mitsu, I think, from the third film, but subsequently was renamed in the final version. So. So she's a bit of a weird one. Her name is technically original for this game, but she's technically based on a character from the third film, although that character only ever appeared in the third film. There are a couple of characters that had sort of the... She's a bit of a weird one. I think she's actually a film licensed character, slightly modified. Konami since 1969. I'm supposed to have some parents scrolling on this stage as well. You've got multiple layers, so you've got the billboards, you've got the background. Later, yeah. We've got like the fighters. They did a couple. I think they did 1 or 2 arcade licenses. Yeah, she was. I don't remember her character at all from the third film because it's been such a long time. The only character I remember from the third film, which is basically the one where they went back in time to like the samurai era, was the English warlord called Walker. It's one of those films you do not see, wasn't it? I can't remember what the third film was called. It was like turtles, especially they get sent back in time to feudal Japan. If Casey Jones in it, I can't remember April in it. I think it's April in it. Yeah, I don't think April O'Neil was actually in it. It was Casey Jones and basically the old live action movies. I mean, they weren't great. They weren't. Well, they were pretty terrible, all three of them. They were not great films. Yeah, I don't remember a character at all. Apparently, basically, it seems Azuka was supposed to be Mitsu, but they just changed it in the last minute. Possibly it might have been a licensing issue because the film licenses, as I mentioned, would be different to the... No, this is Mizuki's. Well, Azuka's.
Round one.
It would make sense this would be related to the third film, this stage. Mario's 30th anniversary? Probably not, unfortunately. We don't actually have a Switch at present here at Randomised Gaming because there's just not really that much on it. I think we will pick up one at present, but I know Dragoon was quite interested in the Game & Watch they were doing. I often end up double jumping. I mean, that's the thing. Donnie's heavy punch has got such a range on it. It's ridiculous. Spin kick as well. I definitely think Donnie would be in the top tier. I think he's got some sort of dive as well. Yeah, his moves are a bit. Yeah, he's got a swoop one that's quite good. We'll probably be wrapping up pretty much on time today due to the fact I was streaming Super Bomberman R quite extensively earlier, so... I don't think we've done that one, and I don't think we've done the one up here.
Round one.
I think this is Wingnut stage actually with the band. The music is fantastic as well. It's definitely one of those games that I think a lot of people forget about and don't realise how good it is. There's definitely, I think, probably a little bit of balancing issues, notably the Japanese version. So the Japanese version is called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think, Mutant Fighter X. And it was, we mentioned, was slightly rebalanced. So it's definitely one I want to actually pick up at some point due to all the improvements. There's some additional animation as well for a few characters, so... There we go, the throw. But certainly the Mario 35th anniversary, I'll be honest, I think Mario has had a bit of a disappointing run since his classic games from the 90s. Definitely a 90s rock band in the background, that's for sure. Or it almost appears to be like Madonna wearing that costume singing away. Managed to win 2 so far, not a great run for me. Yeah, it's got Orb Crusher from. Yeah, I don't think we've done this one.
This is the last stage.
There's 12 stages in total, so.
Round 1. Fight!
It's actually a Marilyn Monroe, which is based on. Yeah. He's got Rise and Tackle, and he's got the Moo as well. We've got the Cat and the Dog. We've got what I describe as a debris field going on. What's going on in the foreground on this stage? It literally looks like what I describe as a swamp. It's like you wouldn't have that. It's like it's meant to be the harbour or something. It's dirty. Cyber Shredder is actually probably my most favourite character in this one. There's definitely one, I mean, there are some slightly interesting ideas, like the fact Michelangelo does have this dragon's breath. Not quite what you expect from Michelangelo, but it's a nice use of creative license, I will say. I certainly think this is probably a better fighter than the weird Smash Bros one they did, although that was actually developed by some of the Smash Bros team apparently. I'm regaining my win record. Let's play as War, I think. Let's play as War, I've done every character. I mean, it's quite a nice package. You get, I mean, by default you get 10 characters and then there's 2 more as the bosses. So I think having 2 bosses is quite a good. Although Street Fighter was nice, it had 4 bosses. I think 4 was always too many. 2's much more reasonable. So you have your minor boss and then your final boss. I think we've done all the stages now. It's just a case of your favourite stages. Karais is definitely one of the better stages when you're fighting on the.
Round 1. Fight!
Yeah, this does remind me of Marvel's Superheroes, doesn't it? In fact, this was before Marvel's Superheroes, in fact. Or, yeah. Yeah, the Rat King's definitely more powerful.
It's a good character.
the Rat King's definitely one of the more powerful characters. You can't play as the bosses in the story mode, I believe. They're literally verse mode only.
Round 2. Fight!
I will once probably tomorrow I'll update the description with the cheat codes to play as the bosses and get their stages. Just because it's always nice to include them. Especially there's so many sites. I know there's a couple of times I've found it really hard to actually find sites that list a lot of cheat codes properly. Yeah, he's just incredibly powerful, the Rat King. That's okay, Carrick. Thanks for joining the stream. Have a good night there, bud. Our 13th battle. Wing that again, see if I can get his. Yeah. Going for the nice parallax scrolling stage again. There's some really, it's actually really impressive. Konami did really like to push the limits a lot. And that's just, I mean, some of the attacks, I mean, that's just his normal down and heavy kick. Great mutagen, I just realised. Mutagen. The other post just says Mew and a hairstyle on it. Great mutagen.
Yeah, one thing's sure, you definitely don't get the supers out very often.
But no. If I'm being honest, I even forget you have them because you really have to get that. You have to really hope your opponent blocks a lot. The AI is quite good at blocking. I wonder if they timed it because the AI is really defensive. Yeah, and if you block, you actually lose your super. So. Finally, one minus wing nut. I did actually always quite like the comic book character. It was quite amusing. I think in future I probably should put a Twitter tweet out for our streams as well, because I did so for the last one and that was faring really well. And probably better to be a bit more, make people aware of our content as we do it.
Round 1.
So again, we have the tournament fighter final. So I think Rat King is, yeah, Rat King's after Karai. Rat King's the final boss, isn't he? In this, Karai's the second boss. Well, yes, exactly. In fact, I can't remember the last time I played this. I mean, dare I say it might have been over 10. No, I don't think it's been 10 years, but it's been a while. It's been a good 5 years since I played this on Super Nintendo. Yeah, so on the Japanese version you can actually punch them through that stage wall. Chrome Down, I remember he's definitely tactically abuse certain moves to win, so I remember beating Chrome Down and not having too much trouble. The downside with the single player mode, the AI is incredibly defensive in this one, which is great for powering up your super attacks. Downside is it does mean you need to Okay, so we're going to wrap this. It's 10:20 now, guys. Currently the stream's just coming up to 47 minutes. I think we'll probably be slightly under the hour tonight. We'll probably wrap it up on the hour, even though with a few minutes of setting up. Just as a heads up.
Round 2, fight!
Yeah, I mean, definitely like Leo's there is a pretty brutally trapped when I'm using that spin attack. There's definitely definitely the AI is very susceptible to stuff like that. A lot of characters do have multi-hit combo rolls and slashes. That's quite a good recovery. All the characters only have one win pose. Interesting, Asuka's win pose is changed in the Japanese version. She does like a celebration and you see a bit more bounciness, should we say, in her chest when she does so. She also wears a slightly more revealing pair of pants, for want of a better word. There's also additional voice samples and some other quite nice changes. Yeah, you can definitely, I mean, Leo and her have definitely got quite nice spin moves. Although Leo's spin moves are quite high, I think hers you can't block. Leo's got, that's a really nice uppercut. Ooh. There are a lot of chip damage, yeah.
Round 1, fight!
Yeah, that's quite enough for me. yeah, she got one where you press the two lights together, and then you press the two heavies together, and literally her diving is down plus neutral light punch and down plus fierce punch. So
Round 2. Fight.
down plus fierce punch does that, and that's the two. This is the two heavies together, a sort of long arm tactic. Diving. And a lot of these moves do an awful lot of chip damage, that's for sure. Got a medicine attack as well, that's yeah, she's definitely. The two bosses are definitely would be in the top tier in this, as you say. There's 17 matches in the hour, which is pretty good. Cyber Shredder, who was probably my favourite character.
Round 1. Fight.
Barbarian, yeah, he's only got 3 moves. Cyber Shredder. I mean, he's always quite a favourite character of mine because he's quite. I remember distinctively he could do that Orb Crusher, but basically he's got the Orb Crusher. Who was your favourite out of the non-turtle characters? I think you didn't have one to go. And mine was always Cyber Shredder. Forgiving the fact Bebop and Rocksteady aren't playable in this, which would have been the #1 sort of Bebop and Rocksteady charging one another and stuff.
Round 2.
I'd love to have seen a playable version of Bebop. Supposedly Bebop and Rocksteady was supposed to be added to the weird Smash Bros game, but that never happened. Oh, we actually smashed up one of the statues in the back there. Yeah, to get the super attacks up, you really need to hope your opponent's blocking them up.
Round 1. Fight. Rising thunder.
chip damage from a lot of those moves. I was hoping to sort of ride it out. You just can't survive the chip damage. You just have to go in for the all offensive stuff.
Round 2. Fight. Hey.
Also, I think Mikey's best moves probably up roll and his Dragon's Crest is what he's planning to do.
Rising thunder. Rising thunder. Yeah. Round clock. Rising thunder. Let's kick down. Round 3. Fight. Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath.
You actually get 60 seconds in this one.
Hey.
Yeah, I do think some of the charge moves, like Mikey's cannonball attack, you just do. There are certain moves that aren't particularly very good, others that are just brutal.
Rising thunder. Yeah. Rising thunder. Yeah. Round clock. Dragon Breath. Round clock. Yeah. Attack.
Oh.
Let's kick down.
We're at the out. It's 10:32. Can we do one more fight? I think we'll.
Okay.
And that'll take us over the hour mark. Players rack one last time. Jamboree, yeah, because this. Wait, let's do the rock even not steady stage one. War stage.
Round 1. Fight. Power grip. Jamboree. Jamboree.
I mean, the voice samples are pretty good in this. There's a lot of them. So both these characters are largely charge characters. They all have body press. Themselves into body press. Jamboree. Ironically, this is actually Cyber Strategy stage.
Round 2. Fight.
Right, let's see who
Power grip.
take this. Go into the hour mark.
Power grip. Power grip. Power grip.
Oh.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, I think it's a fairly decent one. I think there are some slight damages. Be interested to try the Japanese version, which does have the balancing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up there. So that's where we'll wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm going to finish off this Turtles Tournament Fighter stream here, so it's a good run. It's an impressive fighter. I think it could be a little bit better. But you just try the Japanese version with bouncing tweaks. It's overall a very good Super Nintendo fighter. Sadly, I think I mentioned earlier, it is a bit expensive to buy these days, owing to the fact that A, Konami don't have the Turtles license anymore, so it's never been reissued. And B, I think the other issue is that it was sort of a late Super Nintendo. Well, it wasn't late as such, it was sort of mid-life, but it was at a point where Turtles had kind of fallen out of favour. So a lot of people didn't pick this up, which is a shame, myself included actually, despite being a big Turtles fan in the 90s. I remember when Tournament Fighter came out, I was a bit, nah, it's a one-on-one beat 'em up, nah, not that interested. It was one of those things. So I'm going to wrap it up there, along with Dragoon, who's already run off. I'm going to thank you all for watching, everyone. Thank you for watching tonight's Fight Night stream. I will wish you a good night, a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It has been a crazy, rather successful streaming day, seeing as we've just finished the second stream today. Of course, we did have a epic stream earlier on the Super Bomberman R Online, which I think was our most viewed stream to date. So thanks everyone for watching today. I will be back Monday doing a bit more streaming. I'm not sure what yet, as always. We'll be streaming something. I did say I would do another Super Bomberman R Online stream next Friday as well, since it's been so popular and it's quite nice to do. So I'm going to finish for now. I'm going to thank you all for viewing. I think we will have a video out over the weekend. There's a couple of things I can get out. I need to get out something for the weekend, so there will be something. I'm not sure what just yet. Long play. I need to finish Knights of Valor and a few other bits and bobs, so we do have a playthrough of a classic Nintendo game in the very future, but for now I will wish you good night. I'll wish you a good weekend, everyone, and I'll be back streaming come Monday next week, which will be the 4th of August, the 7th of September. So see you all soon. Have a good weekend, everyone. Random Gaming Rhythm signing off on behalf of Randomized Gaming.